The problem isn't that you lack skill. It's that you keep restarting from broken foundations. Every time a project goes wrong, most DIY woodworkers assume the issue is execution. A cut slightly off, a joint that didn't align, a step that didn't come together the way it should. So they go back, start over, try again. But the pattern repeats. You measure carefully. You follow what's written. You double-check your angles. And still, something feels off earlier than it should. At first, it's small. A piece that doesn't sit flush. A gap that shouldn't be there. You adjust. Compensate. Keep going. Then the errors stack. What started as a tiny mismatch turns into a structure that won't square. Parts stop fitting together the way the diagram suggests they should. And suddenly, you're no longer building, you're improvising. That's the moment most people abandon the build. Not because they can't do it, but because the path forward is no longer clear. So the next weekend, they try again. Either restarting the same project or jumping into a new one, hoping for a different outcome. But the result is the same cycle. Start, yapin fusion, pre-registration, fake start. And over time, that creates a quiet belief. Maybe I'm just not good at this. But here's where things shift. Most woodworking problems don't start in the workshop. They start on paper, or more specifically, in the plan itself. On the surface, a plan can look complete. Clean diagrams, a materials list, a few step-by-step instructions. But what's missing is what actually matters. The exact order of assembly. The small transitions between steps. The tolerances that keep everything aligned. The details that prevent error from compounding. Without those, you're not following a process. You're filling in gaps. And every gap introduces interpretation. That's why two people can follow the same plan, and both struggle in different ways. It's not inconsistency in skill. It's inconsistency in the instructions. Think of it like assembling something without knowing which parts depend on others being perfectly aligned first. You might get steps 1 through 3 right. But if step 2 needed a tolerance adjustment that was never mentioned, step 7 will fail no matter what you do. And when that happens, restarting feels like the only option. But restarting doesn't fix the structure. It just resets the same flawed path. The real issue isn't that you're restarting projects. It's that you're restarting incomplete systems. Once you see it this way, the pattern becomes predictable. Projects don't fail randomly. They fail at the exact points where the plan stops guiding and starts assuming. And those points are usually invisible until you reach them. That's why some builds feel smooth from start to finish, while others fall apart halfway through. Not because one project is easier, but because one has a complete path, and the other doesn't. When the structure is clear, your decisions become simple. Each step leads naturally into the next. There's no guessing. No second guessing. Progress feels steady. And more importantly, reversible mistakes become rare, because the plan prevents them before they happen. This doesn't mean every project will be perfect, but it changes what failure looks like. Instead of restarting entire builds, you make small corrections along a path that still makes sense. And that's what separates momentum from frustration. If you've been restarting the same types of projects over and over, it's worth looking at where the breakdown actually begins. Not in your cuts. Not in your tools. But in the instructions guiding your decisions. There's a structured breakdown in the description that walks through how to evaluate a plan before you even pick up your tools, so you can avoid this cycle entirely. If this kind of clarity helps, consider subscribing. Most people don't need more effort. They need a better starting point.